And good morning, YouTube. We've taken some sedatives today, and we're just chilling. But it's a pretty damn good day as well, especially if you're a Coinbase fan or a Hood fan. And if you guys were trading with us yesterday, let me stop right there for a second. If you didn't make money yesterday as a day trader, this might be a little insulting, but you must not know what you're doing. Yesterday might have been top 5 days in the history of trading. Everything worked. Dip buying, ripping, rolling, VWAP trading, 1 minute multi-day VWAP reversals everywhere. If you weren't able to find a decent trade to make a day's pay, if not 7 or 8 of them yesterday, you're not looking in the right places. You're doing the wrong thing, and you need to be a part of the Hit the Bid family. Because a day like yesterday not just was great, but it sets you up for the next 2 months. That's how great yesterday was. Then you come in today with a nice relaxed atmosphere, a nice relaxed attitude. You're checking on some earnings reports. You know you love the crowd, right? Do it for the crowd. Caught a nice short on it. And then it rallied 20 points as soon as we covered, which was kind of miraculous, giving us another chance to short it at a higher level. Got paid again. Some people got paid 30 times, and now it's actually become a long trade again. We've learned our lesson that the market never goes down. I know you're saying to yourself right now, but it did go down, but did it? And you just said, yes, it did, but did it? Did you take any short trades yesterday? No. 23 trades I did yesterday. No shorts except for AGQ short. And of course, obviously, UVXY would have been a decent short. But the overnight selling has been where all the selling is happening. And by the time the market opens up, it's strong and there's only buying. Hence the reason we say the market never goes down. So today we had just a couple of names. My only loss today was a small, tiny loss on GitLab because it just did not want to cooperate while I was in it. I was forced to just sell it. And then it turned into a winning trade, just like the Credo. And if you guys were with us yesterday, I implored you not to give up on Credo. And when I say the market never goes down, this is why I say the market never goes down. Because 9 out of 10 stocks, no matter how bad the earnings are, quote unquote bad, no matter how they're being trashed on earnings day, within a day or two, the stock tends to come back. Hence the saying, the market never goes down. And for all we know, and again, I hope I'm right about the market crashing in 2 weeks, because that'll be kind of cool that I made that call. I don't care if I'm right. I don't care if the market goes down. I just want to make money. And that money is being made on these wonderful earnings reversals. And today, coincidentally, I went back to one of my favorite stocks. And it was right after me saying, hey, I love me some Alcoa. I told you this was going to range break. How many times can we buy the stock at 57 bucks and get paid? And as I was saying this sentence, I said, let's short the stock. But you just said you love the thing. It's going to 80. I know, but now it's breaking VWAP and the range. Let's short the hell out of it. And you got blue line to orange line. And then it rolled over and went down even some more. I covered here. And then what happened? Double bottom, fake them out, shake them out, VWAP. Take him out, shake him out. Some of us were buying it down at 61. One of our guys, he was awesome. Buying it right here at 62. VWAP retrace, you're getting paid again. Nice short, decent long. Trade's over. But let's go back to what I originally just said. If you didn't make money yesterday, you are definitely doing something wrong. Legitimately, you could have banged your head on the keyboard, hit the buy button, and made money. You could have spazzed out and accidentally hit the keyboard and the buy button. Oh, look, I'm up $2,000. Nobody was selling anything yesterday. So today, once again, the overnight was where the sellers were, right? And what happened? Where'd all the sellers go? They got faux show broed. So when I say the market never goes down, you get it now, finally, I think, right after me saying this since '07. Yes, there are corrections and crashes. But if you ever think for a second that you're going to stay short for any extended period of time, you're going to lose. So you know that. And if you don't really truly want to accept it, let VWAP into your life. And why don't we just take a moment right now to reflect? When I say VWAP has saved my life, I'm a shorter. And I know stocks don't stay down anymore once they break over VWAP, especially over prior day VWAP. I know that. We're not here to debate. We're to embrace the VWAP and the wonderment that it brings us, instilling the discipline that we need in our lives. So let's take a moment. And breathe in the VWAP. And breathe out the fear. Breathe in the VWAP. And breathe out the CNBC. Little one, breathe in the VWAP. And breathe out the stochastics. So when I think of this, and I treat it like a religion, because this is my religion right now. And when I say it saved my life, it has. Because this is one of those typical days where I'm still bearish the market. I think we're going down some more. I do think we're going to 587.50 minimum, possibly 555. But VWAP tells me to shut my dumb mouth today, right? And UVXY being down over 2.5 points. And knowing that I live in a market that doesn't go down anymore. So I just have to accept. And VWAP helps me accept my fate. I'm in a market that you get 2 days, maybe. But in this market, this is even more bizarre than a normal bearish environment. Because we're in a bearish environment right now, but the bearishness, by the time the 9:30 bell rings, it's over. Right? Most of the selling has happened on the overnights. Now, if you want to talk about what I think we're going to be lulled into a false sense of relief that maybe the worst is over. And I believe that's the trap. But right now, that's just my thought. If I get confirmed, that's when I go put the trade on. And right now, I'm just happy we got involved in a, decent crowd short. Alcoa short, little GitLab small loss. Pretty much sums up my whole day. So far, so good. Obviously, this Coinbase, if anybody's swinging it with us, very well done. I suggest selling a decent portion of it now, looking at that pullback at 206 as an out. But if you guys are swinging this trade, it's my favorite trade of the entire year right now. Still love it. I do believe we're going to get down, back up to this area where we broke down from, which is around 215.65. And if you break through there, that's where these shorts are going to have to cover, but they're not going to, because they're going to add to it because they're morons. I know how they think. Oh, this is bullshit. Can't keep going up like this. The stock was just 150 the other day. And they'll be saying that same shit all the way to 271. Because that's why short squeezes are the greatest trades ever, and that's why I'm a bear. because I love now victimizing my old self. Can't keep going up every day like this. Sure it can. Sure it can. For 3 years it can. I'm never going to live through that nightmare ever again. From 2012 to 2015, watching the market go up every day, me trying to short it, getting in its way, losing hundreds of thousands of dollars. Never again. Never again. Market doesn't want to go down anymore? Great. We'll trade it as such until it proves that it actually does want to go down. Are there shorting opportunities? Of course. But you better know what you're doing. And by the way, the GitLab right now, you see how it turned? It's the same exact trade. One didn't work on the credo. Second one didn't work on the credo. And then the trade resets up with a new faux show and a VWAP break and a VWAP hold. And what went from a frustrating, annoying waste of time and a small loss, there's the game that we were waiting for. So once you understand the VWAP and the market mechanics behind it all, patience, discipline, all is instilled in the charts. And it's about having the courage, because some people say, oh, I got burned by this name. Ooh, I don't want to go back and get burned again. Stock doesn't know who you are. Stock doesn't give a crap about what you did with your measly 300 shares about 2 hours ago. Who cares? There's the new setup. You got yourself a faux show, bro. VWAP break on an earnings report. Take it. And then it confirms its strength by holding this time and then holding again. Whole different trade. And that's why crowd, where's my long traders? Shimon. Made money on it twice on the short side, sets up as a long. Make that money. Take that money. What song is that? Make that money. Take that money. Is that 50 Cent? I get money. I get money. I run New York. Now I need to hear that song. Sorry. But yeah, we're just chilling today. It's a very nice chill day. You know, going over some key concepts. If anybody has any questions, and today would be a great day to ask. But more importantly, let's go back to the first thing I said, and I'm going to put the song on and go refresh my coffee because it already got cold. This GitLab's turning out to be a pretty good long, is what I'm trying to say. Right? And all you had to do is revisit. So there you go. New highs on GitLab. There you go, friends. How this is playing out, it just is part of the entire theme of today. The revisit, the understanding what you're doing. Small losses are okay. Tiny loss on a GitLab, you come back, you make it all back, just like the crowd. Two tiny losses on Credo yesterday, got back in it, made all of it back, and then some, and then it became a monster trade today because, say it, the market never goes down. See, that's the one benefit of we being in a perpetual bull market. You could go revisit these names 2 days later, like NEM, and that one didn't work for us that first day. What happened the next 2 days? It wound up going up 12 points. It's a fantastic trading environment is what I'm trying to say. And once you get the rules and regulations down about how to trade them using VWAP and multiple time frame VWAP and just ranges and pivot points, you're sitting there. And where are my shorters of the VWAP of QQQ, right? I'm sure you guys are trying again with the Q short, right? Same trade as before, but at least this time you're getting rejected at the upper level. I'm staying away from shorting the Qs today. So let's go back to that conversation for a second. This market's doing exactly what I think it was going to do. All right. A couple of sell-offs, trap some shorts. relief rally, get everybody to forget about how the environment we're in, and then sell off again. So right now we're in that first day of the I hope this market stays together kind of moment. And yeah, I don't care. And again, as long as I don't want to see it rolling over and going crashing today, because I think if it stays strong today, we'll have a decent sell-off tomorrow. I just think we're going to be in this range. Inevitably, we do break down. But today, I've stayed away from trading the Qs. It's been a long trade, obviously, here at the Faux Show Bro. A couple of scalp shorts, not really trading them. But we also learned about pump and dumps with VICR. If you guys heard me on this morning's show, not VI, I mean VSIG, VCIG. As I tried to explain to everybody, stocks that are up 50% is not a good thing. Stocks that are up 100% is terrible. Stocks that are up 200% are dog shit. Which to the layman, stocks up 200%, it's awesome. No, it's not. Normal stocks don't go up 200%. It's a short squeeze, pump and dump. Inevitably, it'll be dumped right back to where it came from. And look where the stock now. Inevitably, we mentioned it as a short up here, repeated it as a short there, then the VWAP break, and the full Jerry Orr back to where it came from, like the piece of turd that it is. And that's the whole day right there. We haven't really done too much, but what we've done is awesome. So I'll go back to that insulting comment I made to start the show. If you didn't make money yesterday, stop trading. Join my website, learn about these trades, understand market mechanics, paper trade. Don't put any money up at risk until you are familiar with what you're doing. Because yesterday was literally top 10 trading days of all time, of all time, of all time. Everything was working. You had instant gratification. You had pullbacks that held. You had follow through on every trade. It was really, really incredible. And it's a day like yesterday where you have to kill it so much because there are going to be days where you don't. There's going to be days where you go 0 for 3 and that's your whole day and you just hate trading. Oh, what have I done? That's why you have to kill it on days like yesterday because there are going to be days where it's a little bit more difficult. There can be days where nothing goes right. And you're like, all right, at least I had that day on March 3rd where I just set myself up for the whole month. Nice. And so far, again, a lot of what I've been saying is, after the NEM trade. And, again, this is what I love about the last couple of weeks. Everything I'm talking about, everything I'm trying to teach you is being exemplified within a day or two. Just because the stock didn't work on day one of the earnings report, keep an eye on it. See what happens the following day that's still in play. NEM wound up tacking on 12. Right? And then you had Figure, which there was nobody buying it. Nobody was buying it. Nobody was buying it. Nobody was buying it. Just getting hammered. There was nothing going on. And the next day you had a Faux Show Bro and you made it all back. And then today you're breaking out of the range. Pretty incredible. And then you had Credo yesterday, which took some work. Nobody was buying it first. You guys remember. We were battling with the Credo. Had to get out because it got rejected at the VWAP and it rolled over. Had to sell it for a small loss. Wasn't bad. Tried it again. Small loss. And then one more Faux Show. Had to try it one more time. Limited risk. That time we got to the VWAP, we sold. And then it broke VWAP and held it on top. And it turned into a pretty good trade. And then you go back to revisit your new friend Credo. And look how it's made the whole move back. Because the market never goes down anymore. And it made the whole thing back from where it came. And now you watch this for the next couple of days because chances are It's going to go. Now that you've closed that earnings gap, you're back into this candle. You could be looking at another 7 or 8 points. And what we're doing here, again, I'm not suggesting swing trading. I still love the Coinbase, but I don't own it anymore. But I'm definitely looking to buy it again tomorrow because I do think it's about to going up 70 points. So this is how you build your own watch list. Obviously, Alcoa on my watch list every day. I freaking love that stock. I've been trading it like a juggernaut. Open, NBTS, Qs, UVXY, a few earnings reports, the ones that reported the last couple of days. You're never going to be wanting for ideas. Hence the reason, please don't anybody ever buy a scanner. Nobody needs a scanner looking for ideas. First of all, it doesn't exist because it's just scam business, scanners. If there was a scanner that just spit out winners, I would own it. The closest thing is what Solid Jello has built. Doesn't exist. Because all the scanners are doing, they're scanning for parameters that you choose. And inevitably, it's just telling you, okay, here's your chance. Now put the trade on. The internet tries to sell you something like a scanner that only spits out winners because it's searching for some magic formula that they only know about. It's bullshit. Plus, I worked with a company and I had their scanner. It's too many ideas. How many trades do you legitimately take? I traded the same name 3 times yesterday. Traded all the names, traded AGQ 3 times. 2 short, 1 long. Q's long. You know, obviously, you know the list, MDB, Viking, the whole thing. You don't have to keep going. You don't need that many names. It's always stocks in the news. And look, maybe you just stuck with the VICR trade. I mean, the VSIG trade. You don't care about the earnings reports. You just crush this thing. Fantastic. We're just day traders looking to get paid. And now I'm put on that 50 Cent song. Because if you don't know this song, you should. I get money. I'll be right back. Someone like nuke my coffee. I run New York. I get it. I get it. Yeah. I run New York. I get it. I get it. Yeah. Yeah. I took water, sold it in bottles for $2. The Coca-Cola came and bought it for pens. What the fuck? Have a baby by me, baby. Be a millionaire. I write the check before the baby comes. Who the fuck cares? I'm stanky rich. I'ma die trying to spend this shit. Southside jump in this bitch. Yeah, I smell like the boat. I used to sell dope. I did play the block. Now I play on boats in the South. Friends, baby, Sandro Pay, get a 10, I'm already black, rich, I'm already that, gangster, get it, gang, hit a head, hit a hat, call that a little rap, shit, fuck the shit, chat, the big bread, a bar, cut your head, a marksman, I spread a letter, blood, chocolate, not fuck with the kid, I get biz with the cig, I can really live, you dig? I get it, I get it, yeah. I run New York. I get it. I get it. Yeah. Yeah. I run New York. You call this my new shit, but it ain't new though. I got rid of my old bitch. Now I got new hoes. First it was the Benzo. Now I'm in the Enzo. Ferrari, I'm sorry, I keep blowing up. They call me the cake man, the strawberry shake man. I spray the AR. Make your whole click break dance. Backspin, head spin, flatline, the dead thing. 9 shells, 19. Who want to get it cracking? I was young, I couldn't do good. Now I can't do bad. I ride back the new Jag. I just bought a new Jag. Now nigga, why you mad? Oh, you can't do that? I'm so forgetful. They calling me cocky. I come about the jeweler. They calling me Rocky. It's the ice on my neck, man. The wrist in my left hand. Bling like blow. You like my style? I'm headed to the bank right now. I get it. I get it. Yeah. I run New York.
talk, and I walk the walk. Like a Teflon young boy, I run New York. When I come out of court, yeah, I pop the car. I kick a gangsta out, yeah, I'm not the chalk. I get it. In the hood, if you ask about me, then tell you I'm about my bread. I get it. Run the world, if you ask about me, then tell you they love the kid. I get it.
Oh, oh yeah. I keep forgetting those zero date mag sevens, right? How's that? How does those trading? Sounds like it's awesome, right? Yeah. So when you pull up the regular chain, they're just on the new chains, right? It's not like I gotta go searching for something new, right? Yep, there they are. March 4th, Apple. Exciting. Like for instance, if Coinbase had an intraday option today, oof, man, that would have been a sick trade, right? They'll probably make it on Coinbase inevitably. It'll spread. There'll be single date, zero date options on half the stocks probably. So yeah, today's guys, if you have any real specific questions, if you did a trade that didn't work, that's one of my favorite learning moments. Going over a trade that you did to see if there was something that you could have done better. Some trades just don't work and you have to eat them. But if you find a flaw in your trading, that's the best way to learn. You know, even with this GitLab, right? I learned from it. Well, I've learned, I know why I had to sell it because it violated the levels that I refused to let it break. But then it faux show broke at that same level and half an hour later, and readdress it, make that money. But if you guys have any specific questions, and again, I don't sometimes I do insult people when I say if you didn't make money, then you probably shouldn't be doing this. But yesterday was that kind of day. Hey, what's up? Hey, what's up, Tara? Good morning. Good morning. But I came in today not even planning on doing anything. I was just looking to short crowd because I don't like that sector. Got paid pretty quickly and haven't really done too much since. Can you explain the VWAP setting? Is it weekly or daily? It's all of it. That's what's so awesome about what I built here. So it's today's VWAP and whatever time frame you want to choose. I've chosen them for you and built it into the script. So it's 1 minute, 1 day, and then I can grab 5 days, and then I grab 10 days, 15, 20, and then I go jumping into the monthlies, and then even yearlies, and then multi years. And one of my favorite charts was been the 3 year weekly chart, is where I find a lot of stocks coming out of downtrends, which have been my best trades. You know, that's why I was kind of liking Coinbase. This is a 3 year VWAP pivoting over it too. And then if you look at 4 years, his 5 year VWAP. That's really why I loved it. You're taking 5 years of VWAP and just throwing it on one line. Look how important that line has been. You tagged it here, and that was one of the greatest rallies the stock has ever seen. So it's definitely important. So now that you faux showed, here's the earnings report, and you fake them out, shake them out, back above a multi-year VWAP break, you got to be long this stock. And now you're just looking for the retrace back to where it came from. And that's why we're super bullish the stock. And that's why I heard Straza is on it too, because him and I trade exactly the same. That's why I dig me some Straza. And I don't give compliments in this industry easily. He's one of the great ones. Guy knows what he's doing. He's on every trade when I'm on it. Because he was doing something a couple of years ago, and I was like, do you know that you're Andy Dufresning all these stocks? He's like, what the hell are you talking about? I give stuff fun names because it's more fun to learn like that. But Straza was banging out Andy Dufresne's all over the place. When he was on to the rigatoni and the quantum names, we were always on the same names. And that's saying something. Because he's seeing it in a different way, but we're seeing the same thing. And the guy's got talent, you're onto something. Now he's on the Coinbase, and of course he is. And I mean that. I don't really give compliments too easily. Because again, that's just my nature. If you've ever seen the movie There Will Be Blood, I've got a competition in me. I don't want other people to succeed. I know exactly what he's talking about. I have that gene. I want us to succeed, but I'm here to just smash people. I don't care about anybody else. And of course, I drink your milkshake. I've got a straw way over here. By the way, if you haven't seen that movie, it's a deep, dark movie. There Will Be Blood. It's probably top 20 movies, top 30 of all time. It's just awesome. Oh, my wife hated me that year. Oh, I had the kids running around the house doing the milkshake song. Every time we were out and there was a straw involved, my kids would be dancing around. I drink your milkshake. I drink it up. By the way, I say this affectionately also. Good luck being a shorter, right? I think you guys are starting to see what I'm trying to what I'm trying to relay here as a victim to the bull market for 3 years of my life, giving back pretty much everything I ever made. It's just awful. I'm never going to do that again. So that's why I'm better at this now than I've ever been, because I'm legitimately victimizing my old self, like this Coinbase trade. This is the kind of trade where I would get short and get killed now because I'm angry that I was in this thing at 155 and sold it at 167. And that's how most shorters get themselves in trouble. Oh, fuck this thing, man. It can't keep going up. I was just long this thing at 157. Man, it can't keep going up like this. Sure, it can. Just because you screwed up the trade doesn't mean it's a good short, but that's how most shorters think. That's why they get their asses kicked. This stock's going up another 70 from here. Deal with it. And then you go back to my wife, right? My wife, she's not a trader, but she's had to deal with my freaking dumb face coming out of my office for the last 25 years. She's like, oh, look at that face. Oh, great. Kids, gather around. Your father's going to tell us a story about how he sold the stock and it's going up without him now. Quick, gather around, light the fire. And she mocks me, right? She's like, hey, here's a better choice. Do you still think the stock's going higher? Yeah. Well, then just buy it back. Well, I don't want to buy. I just sold it like 2 days ago. Now it's up 30 points. Do you still think it's going higher? Yeah. Well, then buy it back. Well, I don't want to. Well, then don't stop. Then stop complaining about it. Then it's your choice that you're making here. And I tell her to stop making sense. She should be a stock market therapist because that's it. It's an emotional moment where you sold something and it's ripping now without you, and you're afraid to get back in because you don't want to pay that higher price in case it pulls back. Just reestablish the trade, reestablish the risk parameters. Coinbase, you screwed up by selling it. Get back in. Don't miss the next 40 or 50 points it's going to do just because you sold it during this chop. And that's trading. It's most of this is overcoming the fear of losing. That's it. Like that GitLab trade, right? On a smaller scale, right? The GitLab longs, they just got burned. I don't want to buy it back. But why? It's setting up. You loved it before, and then it rolled over and died on you. Now it's giving you another chance to get involved. This time, sell it when it gets back up there. See, now that was a pretty good trade. So you learn from your mistake here. You correct your mistake. Look at you learning. Which movie? It's There Will Be Blood, Daniel Day-Lewis. And while you're at it, No Country for Old Men came out the same year. If you haven't seen that, watch that too. No Country for Old Men. Phenomenal. And if you're long the Coinbase, again, I suggest lightening up here on a 15% move. Doesn't change the fact that this thing's about to rally another 67 points. Friendo. Call it. Well, I need to know what I'm flipping for. Everything. There's so many great characters in that movie. Yeah. So good. Oh, by the way, Q's new highs. While we're sitting here, by the way, Q's new highs. See, I am not shorting the market. Right? It seems like you just can't short intraday. And listen, my only loss yesterday was I bought a put at the end of the day just in case they wanted to sell the market off. And guess what? That was my only loss of the day. I bought a $5.99 put for 22 cents. I sold a $5.97 for a nickel. Did a 2-point put spread into the close, and I wound up losing $180. And of course, the market went down into the aftermarket just to rub salt in the wound. And then, of course, the selling just disappears. But the market is doing what I was hoping it would do. Get everybody into a false sense of comfort and relief. Ah, maybe the worst is over. The market's digesting all this craziness around the world. That's what it wants you to think. What's today? We still got 14 more days till I think the new exodus begins. And also, like it or not, Bitcoin controls the entire market now. There's no doubt. Bitcoin turned 2 Thursdays ago, so did the market. Bitcoin turned last night, so did the market. Like it or not, you're spending the night with Fred Garvin, male prostitute. And if you know that reference, you know your 80s TV, late night TV. Go, Bassomatic, go. Sorry, I have Tourette's. I just can't stop thinking of movies and TV shows. That's some good bass. Nobody has any idea what I'm talking about, right? Ooh, Bag of Glass. Somebody knows what I'm talking about. That's some good bass. We got all kinds of toys here. We got bag of glass. Yes. Oh shit, that's hilarious. Yeah. That was another skit. That's so funny. Bassomatic was possibly the funniest shit I've ever seen when I was a kid. That's some good bass. First, you cut the bird. Oh, oh man. But listen, if I'm right and this market does what I think it's going to do, we're going to get some nice sideways bullish chop now into next week. Give us that false sense of security. If we make it through the weekend, that is, without anything else terrible happening. And then we get that March 18th sell off. March 19th, you'll get a little bounce, and then March 20th. By the way, if I'm right about this, after I had a premonition about 2.5 months ago. I was like, when this market's really going to sell off? It just hit me like March 20th. It just makes sense. Probably won't happen. Doesn't matter. It's not like I'm betting on it happening. But right now, the market's doing exactly what I thought it was going to do. So it's weird. Super colon blow. You know what I'm talking about. There you go. You guys know I worked at Saturday Night Live, right? Got fired from Saturday Night Live as well. But I walked out with some cool props. You want to see something cool? I'll show you this. I'm not supposed to show this to you. Hang on a second. Go, Bassomatic, go. Of course. Everybody knows Mark Maron. Yeah, he's funny. He's a smart guy. Yeah, he's over my head. Yeah, yeah. He's one of them smart comics. Yeah. Hey, what's up? Oh, Nate is just hilarious. Yeah. Because he doesn't have to say anything with his dumb, stupid eyes. Yeah. He just has to talk about he's just a storyteller. And his SNL skit is genius. When you talk about how things are going to happen in the future. So funny. Sup, y'all? So wait, let me show you something cool. You guys in the dungeon, you're not going to be able to see this, but hold on a second. By the way, Coinbase, yes. Don't ask me twice. You got about 77 more points to go. The squeeze is on. That's good bass. Hims, I still think it's going to zero. I hate that stock. I think it's creepy. It's scary. I don't like the commercials. Plus, I almost had a stroke taking their product. What? Hey, you want some? I got two buckets full. What do you want? You want to grow some hair? None of it works. They're just a generic drug company shill. Just awful. But the stock got crushed. In the market that where nothing stays down, it's not a bad idea for a squeeze that it held 15, I think it was, right? No, actually, it was not a bad trade today. But my friends, if anybody's still in this Git lab, you got some big size on the offer. If this gets bought, we're gonna go higher right here. If anybody's still in this, they just flashed some big size on the offer. If that gets gobbled up, we're going higher. 97, 98, and 2505. 100,000 share blocks are out there looking for someone to sell them. If that gets bought now, this thing's going to rip. Now, here's where I go look in my favorite scanner. I look to see if those blocks are getting bought in the dark pools. And I'll let you know if I see it go by. But hang on, let me show you something cool. What's up, folks? Ow! Kevin Nealon held this in his hand. That's not yogurt. Well, it tastes like yogurt. It's creamy. That's not yogurt. So when I worked in the film unit of Saturday Night Live. Ingredients, not yogurt. So if you go on the Google and you Google "that's not yogurt" SNL, that's the official prop that was in the shot. So when I was fired, I went into the prop vault. I just grabbed a couple of things with me as I got escorted out of the building. I grabbed a couple of tokens. It's the worst moment of my life, getting fired from Saturday Night Live. I answered the phone with a funny voice on, apparently. And I guess I did, but it's Saturday Night Live. Take it easy. But interns weren't allowed to have any fun. Oh, the hints, it kind of worked, but I was like, "Hun, quick, before I stroke out, let's do something about this." And it was over before it was over. It was over before it started, and next thing you know, I'm still just ugh. Yeah. You ever take steroids? It's kind of like taking steroids. It's just awful. You couldn't even really enjoy yourself because you're literally on the verge of stroking out. And my hair didn't grow back either. Yeah, new dungeon. Yeah, we just launched a new dungeon. Everybody gets their 2 weeks. Just got to email me and yeah, I got to get to some of those Vegas people. The Vegas guys, yeah, we only had 3 days, but I got to flood the dungeon every 2 weeks. But Thursday, you're all invited back for the schmooze. I think I'm going to get my friend Rexshare's drones guy on. If you guys are interested in how ETFs or these ETFs, how they get formed, who controls them, how they pick their stocks. So drones is a Rexshares. I'm friends with the guy that runs that whole company. So it's always interesting. Plus, I'm interested, and he's one of the nicest guys you'll ever meet. If you don't know what I'm talking about, Thursday nights we get together and usually prepare for options. And if there's earnings reports, that's where we focus. But usually it's just a little schmooze, prepare a little bit, have a guest on. Solid's usually around. Hey, a couple of new stocks are climbing up the scanner. What's this? Oh, God, penny stock. No, what's this one? Oh, another penny stock. Wow. 3 penny stocks. 4 penny stocks. 5 penny stocks. Wow, these are all under $1. What is all this junk? Ugh. And by the way, if you guys don't know, let me introduce you to your new favorite stock, CONL. So CONL is I was going to use a fun word, but it's the cheap version of Coinbase. So it's leveraged. It's moving percentage-wise more than Coinbase, but obviously it's a lot cheaper. So if you're able to trade Coinbase, obviously you're going to make more money point-wise, but this is how to trade it on the cheap. I do have one more. Got an eye on something. Let me just check my crowd for a second. You guys are you guys are along the crowd, right? I didn't have to keep reminding you, right? And please sell it right here, right? You just got to go to the upper level. And can I reiterate myself again? All you need is one or two stocks to trade. Two shorts on crowd. For me, this is one wonderful long trade going on right here, which I'm about to sell. And I'll let you guys tell me what to do next. So now that you drew these lines, right? The lines that meant something earlier still mean something now. And you've sold some here at 395 and a quarter. Where do you think your stop is now? I'll give you a hint. It's right around here somewhere. Yes. The answer is 393. Who said that? Who said that? Is that in my head? And this is it. I mean, this is why this is the greatest trading environment in the world. We're able to crush a crowd, get long the crowd, crush an Alcoa, get long the Alcoa, get chopped up in a GitLab, get back into a GitLab. It's a very forgiving market, and the opportunities are everywhere. It doesn't have to be a Coinbase rallying 30 points. Which I'm telling you, this is you got 66 points to go now on Coinbase. For now, listen, I didn't think we were going to close the gap today, but you gapped, and now you're not really closing the gap, but you're getting back to the original fake out. You know, you had your wonderful earnings fake out, shake out. That's why I became super bullish on a double faux show here. The original fake out area is here, which is 215.72, which looks like you're going to get that today. But if you don't get it today, you probably get it tomorrow. I wouldn't mind if it consolidates and then breaks out. It'd be better of a break. But, you know, typical bull market, typical squeeze day, typical third day of the market that doesn't go down anymore. You get 2 days of weakness. That third day, the shorts who overstayed their welcome get their ass kicked. It's the same. Nothing's changed. Just because you got a new war going on. So what? It's the same. The market hasn't changed a bit, and most of the selling's happened in the overnights. So this is the best market I've ever seen by far. And all those lessons, I can't tell you enough. How those 3 years changed my life. That the reason people short stocks is usually wrong. People who are shorting Coinbase now are just angry that they missed this move, and they're saying, "Oh, this can't keep going up." Uh huh. Sure. Mm-hmm. Can't keep going up like this. Right. Right. Can't keep going up like this every day. Sure. They'll be saying the same thing at 340. But right now, you're in it, you're loving it, you're taking some profit. I would not be selling any more of this thing. You got to be looking for that to, the bottom of that candle where it broke down from. That's 215.72. You got to be thinking it's going there. And you break through there, you'll have a little fight at 225, but then you're in that upper zone, which is that 245, 250. You get 250, you're getting 270, 140. It's inevitable. And I can't prove this next statement, but this stock would be going up even if Bitcoin wasn't having a monster move. It's helping it, obviously, but stock got oversold and they threw it out. They threw it out with the Coinbase. It's not Coinbase, like the hood. Sweet. But sweeter, man, is this crowd. You guys should be still in it, right? You sold, just don't sell it, right? You're not selling any more of this bad boy. The closest stop is the top of the range where it broke from, which is the top of that. So that's the 394 and a quarter. 394 and a quarter, 394 and a quarter, 394 and a quarter is your out. That's the conservative. That's the yeah, conservative against conservative stop. You want to let it breathe a little bit? It's just a little pivot point right there. So that's the 393. You want to let it breathe a little bit more? It's the double bottom candles from where it just came from. And then clean them all up just to see it again. You got the range. I look for, again, if you rise with me on Saturday, when I see a bottom and a top of a candle, that's where I make my lines. And then bottoms and ranges where bottoms and tops meet, that's the new range. So those would be my first stop, second stop. And if you're even going to let it breathe even more, triple top break where it came from, third stop, you're not letting go back to VWAP at this point with you still being in it. You don't blow when you trade, you know. And then if we do get going again, I'm surprised we didn't hit it, but we're looking for that 398.79. And then we're looking for it to go back to the highs of the day. And why not? If you haven't heard, the market doesn't go down ever. What is today? Today's Wednesday. Yeah. So you can't beat it. You can't beat this market right now. I don't care if it crashes in 2 weeks from now. If we stay in this environment, we're all going to be doing very, very well. Does the last quarterly video talk about monitoring the stocks in play for the day? Are you talking about the class video? I uh, I think it was just reiterating all these, setting up the trades and drawing the lines and raising the stop. But if you're 2 steps behind on your entry, it's because you did what I did. You take the stock off the screen, and next thing you know, you missed your entry. But look, in this case, it's okay to be a little late. Let's say you saw the fake out, shake out, and the crowd starts to rally, and you should have been buying it here, here, and here, and then it rallies without you. But then it pulls back and holds that prior level. That gives you now a chance to get involved here at 393 with 392.50 and 391 as your outs. So you just identify new risk parameters, and just like GitLab, you know, missed the first entry, missed the second entry, but once it pulled back and held the VWAP and starts to rally, I'll give it a shot. I got burned on it twice, but I'll give it a shot at the half. I got something out of it, but this is now a new risk parameter. So a lot of traders misdiagnose the risk reward. If you're buying it now that it held VWAP, held it again, starts to rally. These are your stops here and this level. A lot of people still think that, all right, I'm risking it going back to the lows of the day. You're not going to be in it. Just like crowd. I'm not even letting it go back below VWAP. No way. Because there's three other levels that are important now before it even gets to the VWAP. No way am I letting it roll over, all that. I got, even with 100 shares left, 30 shares here, 30 shares here, 40 shares there. Stops are in. I'm hoping the stock lasts off another 4 or 5 points now. But if it doesn't, I still scatter the stops. Never get out of anything all at one time. And that saves you from a lot of these trades. A lot of the frustration, a lot of the chop. Just never get out. Even when you're down to 8 shares, try to scatter that too. Just get into the habit of never selling all at one price, even when you lose. But if you're finding yourself, right, missing out on some of those trades, it's because you've moved on, you took it off the screen, and you missed them, like me and my Coinbase trade. What am I going to do here? There's been really no I have got no wonderful. I'm looking for a re-entry, and it's just algorithmic. This is just a buy program that's just, there's no way to get back in. I saw the big size on the offer on the GitLab. Yeah, right now I was hoping to see it on the blockchains. It actually was a seller, but a lot of times what they do is they pretend you had some momentum. The GitLab's a little disappointing again, but I'm hanging in there with it. You had this big size showing up on the offer. Usually that's just them pretending there's an overhead supply, and then they gobble it up and the stock rips. In this case, it looked like that really was a seller. And here we go again. The stock's another disappointment. But I got 200 shares left, and I was really going to buy a lot more. I'm still actually thinking about it. It just, now once again, it's kind of been a dud. But if it comes back to VWAP and holds again and starts to rally, I'm buying a couple thousand shares this time. But yeah, it's been a real disappointment. I thought we were finally going to get to the orange line, and I would have bought more because you would have had a 1 minute multi-day VWAP break. This stock it's annoying me today. I'm going to wind up giving back the profit. Actually, this stock sucks. This sucks. I just wasted another hour of my life. I mean, it's unbelievable. See, normally I sell, and this time again, I bought a little bit more, and then I sold, and I bought again. That convinced me to get back in. No, I'm disappointed. Ugh, just I'm gonna ban this stock by the end of the day. It's annoying. But now I gotta wait. I gotta wait to see what it does. Because if Fosho grows again, then I'm gonna load up on it. But yeah, that size on the offer thing, it really does. The more you start to see it, when you have momentum going and they throw some big size on the offer, it's usually a buyer. They're just spoofing you, trying to pretend that there's an overhead supply. And then you see, that's why I was looking in the dark pool block scanner, and then nobody was buying. Because when you start seeing the 20,000 share, 30,000, 100,000 share blocks, you're onto something, and usually get a nice follow. And all it did was double top on us. But yeah, not much going on. Do I see open going at 10? Yeah, after a reverse split, when it goes back to $1 and they do a 10 for one. Now this stock going to zero, but it's fun to trade for sure. I love it on a Friday. I mean, it really is a good stock to trade. Not joking. I don't think it's ever going to break out, but if it ever gets over 7.5, that'll be impressive. If it ever breaks the highs from the earnings day, then you know you're then that'll be a confirmation because it had a pretty good earnings day. It dropped and they bought it. It's still wound up rolling over and dying. So if it gets over earnings day high, which was the 559, actually it was higher than that because it was in the aftermarket. It went to 563. That was in it. That's the magic price. It's the 63 and the 71 area. 571, you better be long because that's basically, what was that, the 30-day high now? This is 30 days on an hourly, just to give you an overhead. Oh no, it's actually 30 days. Yeah, it's been a while. But there's that recent high. So that's it. This thing breaks 571, buy it. But you see this Coinbase, right? This is just an algorithmic buy program. And that's why where's the closest area that it wants to go? It's basically that breakdown price. I mean, this is just, what are you doing here? You just got to hold until this trend breaks, which doesn't seem like it wants to. A&F did a round trip. Ooh, wait a second. What happened with that one? Yeah, I know you guys were. Oh, by the way, not a bad trade. We had this one earlier, right? It doesn't have to be not every trade has to be some parabolic monster trade, but you got the fake out, shake out, you got the range break, you got the VWAP break, blue line, 93.50 got you up to 95.70. Red line, that's a double top break. Couldn't stay above it. That was one of our stops. Second stop was there. Trade's over. Very nice. Now you can wait for a new setup. Yeah, I'd rather see it dipping. If it faux shows again back to the prior level, which is 92.85. So breaks you out, comes back, holds it, then breaks back again. Try it again. Like the stupid GitLab. Oh, I was so proud of myself getting back in. I gave it all back anyway. Oh man, what a battle! Speaking of battle, where is that stuff? BATL. You were looking at that before. Hello, Briscoe. Thank you for bringing this to my attention. Right there's the little pullback you were waiting for, and there's the VWAP break. Hello, who's the guy that was talking about this trade? Well done. There it is. He mentioned that I was climbing here, and I said, wait for it to pull back and break VWAP. Bang. Much better than this GitLab. And then you got the B stage, which is completely. I mean, it's amazing what happened here. Like, where'd everybody go? But look, you've crashed now on this B sig, and you're going Andy Dufresne right now. So if this stock comes out of the Andy Dufresne, you better look to buy this thing. Chances are it's going to zero, but this is fantastic. You have now Andy Dufresne. This thing went from obviously pump, dump, sideways, garbage, but that's where now None of this matters anymore. The only thing that matters to you is this new Andy Dufresne pattern going on right here. Obviously, breaks lows. It's going to break 8, go to 7 and 0. But go back and check this thing all day, because if it starts coming out of this bottom range, you could be ripping right back to 13 bucks, no problem. 12.50 right here. All right, I'm gonna go eat breakfast. All I got left is this fucking GitLab. What a waste! Oh, what a waste. Anyway, it's been okay of a day, right? Started like another monster trade. I should have taken my Coinbase a little bit more serious. And I'm just battling this GitLab, and I'll probably be battling it for the rest of the day. And then it'll be tomorrow. All right? All right. And if you guys are in Coinbase, like I said, I really, really believe you got another 60 points to go on that name. Congratulations if you've been in since the trade. Just awesome. I didn't say that was my favorite long trade for, just for a joke. That's why the ironic nature, me not liking crypto, but Coinbase being my first trade, my favorite trade long, it's just because price action. I know what I'm doing, except in this GitLab. All right. Nice hanging with you. If you guys email me, I'll get you in the dungeon. We'll have a schmooze tomorrow. Don Corleone will be here, as well as I'm going to try to get the Rex Shares guy, and we'll conjure up some solid jello. And I'm sure there's some earnings reports we'll be talking about what's going on Thursday night. Actually, there was a pretty decent list, as I remember. Tonight, you got Broadcom and Rigatoni and OKTA, Bull, UMA, plenty of stocks. Still, StubHub still reporting. That's tonight. And then tomorrow, Thursday after the close, yeah. Speaking of dog shit stocks, GoPro's reporting. Marvell, Costco. Only time I ever trade Costco is on earnings day. PBR, if you guys know about that. You got Gap. Oh, yeah, decent amount. Let me see what else. Anything else interesting on this list? Rumble, no one trades that stock anymore. BMN, it's enough. But I'll see you later. Enjoy the rest of your day. I'm not joking. Stalk this stupid VSIG trade, because if it does stay in the Andy Dufresne and comes out later, no joke, you could be looking at the stock at 18 bucks, because it's one of these squeezy, weird reverse split things, and all kinds of hell can break loose. All right. This was your first moment with us. Congratulations. Hope you took some of these winning trades. This and much, much more coming soon to a theater near you. In the buddy comedy, Sally Jello and the Warlock. In the buddy comedy of the century, they hit the road in a step van, converting D-Rapians in each town across America on their way to the West Coast to go gay in San Francisco. What? Forget about that last part. All right, I'll see you guys later. Careful. We're gay for VWAP. Just to clarify. Okay. See ya.